Good morning and welcome to Faith Fridays with Coach Ellis. And this is the day of the week that come on with a few words of inspiration from what I believe are biblical principles. So today I want to talk to you about keeping it together when it's all falling apart. Keeping it together when it's all falling apart. You ever been in that place where nothing was going right? You know, it's Monday, or it's Thursday, which is actually the fourth Monday of the week for you. Work is in shambles. Your home life is a wreck. Your kids are out of control. Your wife or your husband, they done lost their minds. The church folks ain't acting right. The money is funny, and your everything is falling apart. And you sit there and you wonder, say, God, I've done what you've asked me to do, and it's all falling apart. And I just want to submit to you today, if you are in that place or have been in that place, or if you're not in those two areas, you'll be at that place. Just remember that God trusts you. The reason you have the life you have is because God trusts you with that life He gave you. And so it's not such a big deal. It hurts us when things are falling apart. We think that nothing will ever go right, but I want to encourage you that what's surprising you does not surprise God. What is baffling you does not baffle God. What is stymieing you does not stymie God. Is it possible that this wreck of your life is designed to get you a restart, a redo, a do-over? Is it possible that when you've done all that you think is the right thing to do, that there's just a little bit more God wants for you? You know, I talked yesterday on Transformational Thursday about this idea that when you hit rock bottom, make it a firm foundation to rebuild your life. And that is so true. And while I got the quote from somebody else, I realize that in my life and in the life of most of the people I know of faith, that's a true statement. When we've reached the very bottom, I heard one preacher say this: when the world knocks you to your knees, you're in a perfect place to pray. When all hope is lost, don't lose hope in hope. For we understand that our hope does not rest in what our hands can do, what our eyes can see, what our ears can hear. Our hope does not rest in the things that we can't control. Our hope rests in He who controls the uncontrollable. So when everything is falling apart, keeping it together is as easy but not simple, or it's as simple but not easy as remembering who God is. You know, sometimes we have to be reminded who God is, because we forget. We get all into ourselves, or as the kids would say, we get all into our feelings, and then we forget that the power of our lives is not how we feel, but how we serve. So when I'm out of money, I start giving money away. I don't know why the principle works. When all my finances are falling apart, I start writing checks to people who need things more than me. I start finding and scrounging for pennies and dimes and dollars to give the people who are worse off than me. When I don't have enough money to pay my car note, I find somebody else who needs something more than I do, and I give to them. And I don't know how, I don't know why it works. I just know that it works. But if I give away and make myself prostrate before God, say, I ain't got it, God. In fact, that which I did have, I gave away. Somehow, some way, miraculously, He takes care of my needs. And I just happen to believe, because the Bible says He'll take care of my needs. I don't have to worry about my needs. So when it's all falling apart and the family ain't acting right, or I ain't acting right, or some of the family's all in turmoil, at the end of the day, end of the night, when we're done fussing and cussing with each other, and that's literal and figuratively, if we're honest about it, when we're done fussing and cussing at each other, what we have to do is remember that God's not surprised by our circumstance. He knew who you were when he gave you to me. He knew who I was when he gave me to you. And guess what? He knew who you were when you were born into this family. And it doesn't surprise God. So therefore, I have to go back and depend upon him to bring clarity to the chaos. When the work folks acted up and they got on my last nerve, when that happens, I have to remember God is not surprised. So how is it? How do you hold it together when everything's falling apart? Remember, God is. Period. He's in charge, he's in control, he's got your back, period. God is. Too often what we do is we think God is a bystander. God is watching this on TV. No. What it is, God is in charge. So I just want to encourage you on this Faith Friday that hold it together when it is all falling apart. Because at the end of the day, God trusts you with this, and you'll learn something. You'll be better for it. And in the end, if you die in the midst of that, it is the plan. And who's to say that God's not using our circumstance, situation, or condition to help somebody else not get to that place? I ain't saying, I'm just saying. I'm just a coach. You can catch me at coach at elliscrum.net or catch me on Facebook at Coach Ellis. You've been listening to Faith Fridays with Coach Ellis, having one tabulous, faithful day. Good morning there, Randy. God bless you, sir. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.